Okay, I think we're here. I think we're live. Get a sip of juice, get my voice going. I need to tweet. Oh, my phone's in. Hang on, gotta get my phone. All right, let me tweet. Hang on, guys. Tweeting. Okay. All right. Hi, guys. Hi, Louise. Hi, Picola. Hi, everyone. Just want to make sure I tweeted. See if that goes out. Gail, Kelly, Louise, Tavorna. Oh, why is that not going out? I don't know why. We'll give it a second. Miss Pepsi. Oh, you got. Oh, you're welcome, Gaga. That was quick. I'm glad it got there so quick. I don't know why this is not tweeting. I'm not going to worry about it. Y'all know we're here. Let's see. Barbara. Candy. Yeah, I know. I'm glad it got there so quick. Karina. Well, I guess it's been a week. I guess it's been a week. Right at a week. So anyway, let's see. Good morning. Let's see, Barbara. I think I'm missing some people coming in. Well, happy birthday, Kelly W. It's your birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Have a good one, I hope. Hi, Kenny. Good morning. How you doing? Hope everybody had a good weekend. I'm kind of zoomed in. Let me zoom out a little so y'all can see how big this poster is. There we go. And this is only half, well, about, half of it. It's huge. So the poster is 25 by 34. I'll put that in the description later. So I want to finish this today. Well, I say finish it. We'll see. We're going to work on it. We didn't really do anything this weekend. We did some cleaning and, grilled out some hot dogs. Nothing really, nothing really. We didn't go anywhere, do anything this weekend other than regular errands. So how's the picture look? Does it look good? It looks good to me. I don't know. I hope it looks good to you guys. Let's see. Leslie, Shannon C. Anybody I missed? Thanks everybody for being here. Thanks for popping in. Oh yeah. That's the other thing too, guys. Make sure Pacola said she did not have to set her little wheel setting to 1080p. Make sure you are set at 1080p. Pacola said she did not have to do that, but make sure that your individual settings are at 1080p. Let's see, Miss Mary Berry, Domestic Fox. I'm just seeing who else here. Thanks everybody for stopping in. I've shown this poster before. It is, well, it's got it upside down because it's not folded up, but it's he goes by Nick Filbert. It's the one that did Serene. Maybe I'll get my Serene here. And the one that did Serene. And I am still working on some of these pages too. Maybe I'll show those again. Let's don't cover up their little faces. There we go. There we go. Oh, I should take a screenie. I don't know if my tweet even went through, but we'll see. So what did y'all do this weekend? Anything fun? Hi, Leah. Did anybody do anything fun this weekend that you want to tell us about? So I don't know why my tweet didn't go, but I'm going to take a picture of this just so I have it for a thumbnail after the fact. Yeah, it is a huge poster. Let's get a sip of juice here. What did everybody else do this weekend? Let's see. Halloween crafting? Wow, I guess it really isn't that far, is it? Oh my gosh. You think, oh my gosh, it's so far away, but it's really not. Um, it's not. What are you doing? What are you making? Domestic fox. Hi, Fritchie. Oh, fun. Oh, you got a sunburn. Oh, I'm glad you got to get out though. Awesome, Fritchie. Who else? Let's see. Is too hot to do anything. Yeah, it's hot and humid here. Let's see. Gail says gave both the dogs a bath. That's what my mom. I think that's what my mom did with her little one. Oh, yeah, and you're making one of the house journals. Like, are you basing it on Colleen's house journal? That was so cool. Debbie the Doodler. Haven't had any rain for several weeks, so finally I went out and danced. And aw, Debbie. Hi, Katrina. Anybody else I missed? Domestic Fox says I was in a collab this week. Was Crafter's Choice, a cabinet of curiosities. Awesome. Do you have pictures, Domestic Fox? Are you on IG? Do you have them up on IG? Wait to see an answer. Hi, Aunt Beck. Aunt Beck mowed part of the cottage lawn and crocheted. Okay. I do. It's on IG. What's your name on? Is it the Domestic Fox? I'm trying to retweet again. It didn't work. I'll look it up if you are. Okay, see if that goes through. Okay, let me see. Oh, I think my tweet went through. Okay, let me go to IG. Domestic. Is it the Domestic Fox? Let's see. There it is. Oh, awesome. Look at this. Okay, she's got lots of pictures. All right, let me turn down the lighting because it usually matters in the phone. Okay, so look at this. She has lots of them, so let's see what she's got. She's got close-ups. I'm trying to get, there we go. I'm trying to get the glare. So she's got all kinds of little things in there. Look at this. So you'll go follow the Domestic Fox to see her stuff. Let's go back to the first one. It's a whole little cabinet. Look, how cute is that? That is adorable. That is so cute. I love it. Good job. Yeah, that's very cool. I know. So yeah, if y'all want to see it close up, I feel a sneeze coming on. I'm trying not to sneeze. I'll try to mute if I sneeze. Hi, Darla. I said had to Tavorna. Where are you from, Tavorna? And am I saying that right? Let's see. Hope everybody had a good week. If you're just joining us, or you're watching the recording, I always come on a little early to say good morning, check on everybody, how everybody's weekend was. So if you are, if you're watching Coffee and Art in the Morning live for the first time, and you're going, when are we going to get to the coffee and art? We first say good morning to everybody. And I do have my coffee. I have coffee here. I have my coffee. And I have cranberry juice, so I have something hot, something cold, so that I can keep my voice going for, 3.5 hours. Hi, Zeely. So what did you do this weekend, Zeely? Oh, I did, Zeely. I did do a test on Friday, guys. I did a little 1080p. Well, what was it? Yeah, I think that's what it was. What I was doing on Friday, I did a little 1080p test on Friday. So I think it was Friday. I lose track of days. And Zeely goes, draw something. I said, okay, what do you want to draw? She goes, draw a tiger. Well, I didn't finish it or anything, but here's the tiger that I was drawing. So I kind of added another little one in gold and some gold, just some papers that kind of look tiger-like. And I called it Tiger Lily. And so I did kind of work a little further on your tiger, Zeely. Hi, Janet. So this is my fun animal book that I'm doing animals, and I don't got that. I don't have that many in here yet. But let's see. So I have my llamas. And the white paper, I haven't adjusted for the white paper, but let's see what we can do with the hand. Talk to the hand. So I'm not going to try to adjust the light because we're going to go right back to the color. But yeah, so did some mice, some rabbits, bunnies, and then I'm doing a little cartoon version of the animal on the other side. Here's the piglets. And then here's the tiger that I did on Friday for the test. And I mean, this was just like, it was just so quick, guys. I can't stand it. I have to brighten this up. I have to brighten it. It's just too dark. Hi, Nichols. And then I have a few rooster pages that, this one I was doing some pointillism with the markers. And here's a couple more. So just playing around with it. I think that's all I have in the Big Mama Jamba sketchbook. Now I've got to readjust the light again because I turned it way up for the white paper. So let's turn it back down. No, not quite that far down. Let's turn it back up a little. There we go. So anyway, so I thought we would work on the poster, on the Nick Filbert poster. It's called Love. And Melody sent me this probably a couple years ago. And I've worked on it off and on. And what I did is I started with it. Let me fold it up so you can see what it looks like. And I don't know if it's available. I don't know if it's available anywhere. But this is Nicholas, and that's his name there. But he goes by Nick Filbert. And he's also the one that did Serene and Irene. And so he's done a lot of different coloring. Let's see, let's zoom in. Pages and projects, but I don't know if this is still available. So anyway, I'll do a little flip real quick while we're just sitting here waiting of some of my Serene pages. Again, same artist that did these. And so they're in different stages. Hopefully they're not going to fuzz out on you. This one I did at Christmas a couple years ago and did it with stickles and glitter. Is it Melody in there? Did I see Miss Melody, or is that a different Melody? Where'd she go? Oh, hi, Nana. Let's see. Suzanne. Did I see Melody? Where did she go? Um, is it from? I don't know where it's from, Zeely. Melody got it for me, so she had it sent to me. I don't know if she got it from 70 East or not. But you guys check 70 East books on Etsy for some of these nice Asian coloring books. There she is. Yes, Melody. I'm coloring. So, Melody, do you remember where you got this from? I don't remember. I don't remember where she got. Oh, there's Nana Mo. I'm just clicking in names. I mean, you got to be quick on that click. And now I know you can get Serene. I've bought a second copy of Serene at 70 East, but that was again probably a couple years ago. So I don't know what's available now, guys, especially with all the stuff going on. I have no idea if 70 East can even get it. Oh, thanks, Kenny. So these are some of the coloring pages that I did in Serene. And just flip through them here. And again, Nick Filbert is his English name that he goes by. This one's not done yet, but you can see where it's going. Hi, Louise. This one's still in progress. And again, you can see the gold I'm adding in this one. A lot of times I start these guys to do demos for you guys, and sometimes I get back to them. Sometimes I don't. They still do have it available. Did you check, Zeely? I don't know. This one is my golden goddess, and I still got to finish her clothing, but you can see I put, there we go, gold shimmer on top of her outfit there. Let's see. And then this one is just an undersea one we did with bubbles. This one, I'm not done with this half. This is the cemetery angel. And you can see where I'm just doing it in two colors. And so it's all shading. This is a little Christmas elf, again, not done, but I try to do a lot of projects so you guys can see you can see the steps. Oh, okay. So Zeely said yes, just placed an order last week after drooling over for a couple of years. Okay, Zeely. And then this one's in progress as well. And this one's finished. This is one of my favorites. I really love her. I love the colors in her. And look, see, because they're one-sided, you can use Copics on it. Because it's one-sided, you don't have to worry about it going through. But I really like the colors. And again, there's gold shimmer on her. There we go. I'm trying to there we go. You can see the gold. So it's got some gold shimmer in her. Oh, thank you, Janet. Here we go. Janet put it up there. So it's 70 East Books. It's on Etsy. That's the name of the shop on Etsy. And then here's a whole bunch that I still haven't done yet. I mean, there's tons. I'll just flip real quick here so you can see some more of the unfinished ones. Now, they're not all in here because I did give a few to, whoops, wait, let's move that. I did give a few of them to Cameron some years ago. So this is not the new book. I have a second book that I bought, a new one. So this doesn't have all the pages in it, but you'll get an idea. This is the cover. This is what it looks like on the front sheet when you buy it. And so they're very detailed, and they're just so fun to color. I mean, these Serene, and I've always said this, is one of my favorite, all-time favorite color books. And I'd have to say that Nick Filbert's one of my favorite artists, color book artists. Just so you can kind of see them all here. There's some tests that we've done. So anyway, this is what the cover looks like. If you want to get it. Hi, Nick and Tina. It's been a while. Welcome. Good to see you. So and excuse the squeaky chair. It's my old chair. It squeaks. And, this just, it is what it is. But I love this chair. It's so comfortable. Hi, Cat and Paste. So the poster, I did measure it out before the show. It is 25 by 34. So it's huge. It's a huge poster. And you can see, here's the back of it. So what I did with this poster is I first colored in the whole poster with Copics and other alcohol-based markers, whatever ones I just grabbed off my shelf here. So, but they're alcohol-based markers, so they go through. So what I did is I base coated everything on the page with alcohol markers. Then I went back and started shading. So the whole poster, I'm going to back out just so you can see the whole thing. But when we color it, I don't want to be too far away. So here's the whole, it takes up the whole screen. There's my hand. It is a huge poster. It's 25 by 34. And so you can see right in here, down in here is where I've shaded and really got a lot of the shading done. Up in here, you can see where this is what it looks like with no shading. See the flowers, how flat they are? This is without shading on the flowers. This has not been shaded. So you can see a lot of the areas that have and then have not been shaded. Here's some down here. And I'm shading it just with Prismacolor pencils. Oh, thanks, Jerry. It was a little tricky to find their bodies. Whose foot and whose leg was whose, because they're intertwined, But so you can see here is where I've got some of the smoke shaded here, going around them. I think I've pretty much shaded most of the smoke throughout the whole thing. There might be a couple places that needs just a little bit more. But like this has not been shaded. None of this up here has been shaded. It's just been base coated. It's just been base coated with Copics. And I don't want to cover up my microphone with it. So, but down here, I think I'll just fold this up and work in one section at a time. This down here is where I was working. So look, you can see where I have not done these flowers yet. Compare that. Compare this to some of this or this where it's been shaded. So let's see, Nana Mo, Blanca, Dee Dee Battle, Tracy, Chrissy Color. Who else am I missing? Janet's making funnies. Thanks, Janet. Janet, do you know what you're going to do on your show today? Okay, so let's brighten this up just a little because I changed the lighting. I changed the lighting when we looked through the book, but and I'm gonna zoom back in. Let's see here. Click in one, and let's see if I can get the lighting. That looks pretty good. So I'll probably leave it about right here, and just kind of move it around and work in sections. And then when I want to work on the next section, I can do this. You see, I can, fold it over. It's so big. I don't know what that means, Groon. I have no idea what that means. Let's see. So we'll go ahead and get started. And I do have my pencils here. These are not all my Prismacolors, but I have two trays here. I have my neutrals here. Well, most of them. My green, sometimes I use this as a gray. But anyway, my black and whites in here. And then I have the colors. And these are not all my Prismas, but I have enough of the colors here to grab. If I run low or can't find a color, then I can always go on my shelves or in my pencil cases. So you're going to draw easy flowers. Oh, all right, Jen. You're going to watercolor them too? Jana says she's going to draw easy watercolor flowers on her show today. So, yeah, that'll be fun. Janet streams at 1 Eastern, right after me. Hi, Shell. Anybody else I miss? I know I miss people coming in. So I'm just going to pull from these pencils and work on the poster. I don't know how far we'll get, but I can probably do some more chatting if let's see, let's put these on this side so we have something to look at. And I'm just going to work in little areas at a time. And then you will see some shine to it. I mean, there's a lot of layers of pencil on these. A lot of layers. So let me turn that just a tad. And the cats haven't come in here to join me yet. Well, they were here earlier, but not since I've gone on live. So if you have questions for me, put them in caps. I won't think you're yelling. But if you're not talking to me, don't put it in caps. All right. So I'm going to go back down here and pull some of the pencil colors that I'm using. And I'm going to need a Posca. Did I pull up? Let's see. Here's one. For some additional highlights. And let's see, there's a little bit of a, let me see if I turn that light down. I'm trying to get the shine. Let me see about turning off my overhead. Hang on, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens if I turn off. Did that help any, turning off the overhead? Or did it matter? I don't know that it mattered, but you can still see a little bit of a sheen. Maybe I could prop it. Here, let's see. Let's put that, just prop it. I'm so big. If I prop up where I'm not working. There we go. That looks pretty good. Okay, let me click that. I know y'all can't grab the complete, you can't like grab the link from the link right there, but you can see Janet streams at 1. Thank you, Shell. All right, so hopefully it's not too light, it's not too dark. Hopefully it's just right. I'm still playing with all my settings under the 10, using 1080p, and that does make a shine there. I'm not sure what I can do. Let's see if I can prop that up this way. I don't know that it matters. I'll just keep kind of trying to adjust it so it doesn't give you a glare. And let's move the pencil case over. All right, so I don't know if I want to zoom in. I'll just start from here. And I also have pencil sharpeners and erasers and things. Of course, I don't very rarely use erasers with color pencils. I don't ever really erase well. Hi, Kalura. Can y'all hear me okay? I didn't ask if y'all could hear me okay. All right, so I'm going to sharpen. And I got my, trash can where I'm going to put my elbow on it and hold that steady. So, all right. Let's move this out of the way now. Trying to have plenty of lighting without it glaring. Okay. Okay, thanks, Bacola. All right, so here these flowers have just been colored in solid. Y'all tell me if you want me to zoom in at what point you want me to zoom in. And then the same thing for this little ribbon banner going behind. It has this color in it as well. And so I guess I'm going to have to zoom in because y'all aren't going to be able to see anything. Let's see what we can do. Let's zoom in. Might have to just zoom in on the sections that I'm working on. That may be better anyway. Like this. Again, the shine. I think it's that lamp. Yeah, but that's the one it is. They're going to make it. Oh, no, we got to have that light on. We have to have that light on. Let's see. All right. I know, guys, it's a lot of adjustments, but I want it to be good for you. There we go. It's hard to work on these ginormous projects. All right. So I'm going to just start working in the shading. So again, it's just got a base coat. It's just got a base coat of Copics or alcohol markers. And so you just got to, this is why it takes a long time. This is why it takes a long time. I'm going to use these two colors and maybe this one too. Okay, so this one's Dahlia purple. This one is hot pink, and this one is dark purple. I think I'm gonna go ahead and go back to the Dahlia purple. The other one might be a little too dark. So you just start. I'm gonna have to feel there's no bumps. I have the paper folded. So because I have the paper folded, I don't want to be penciling on top of a fold line because then we'll have a line there. All right, so I'm just going to start shading around. And if y'all have any questions, I'll keep glancing over and seeing if anything's in caps. If y'all want to talk about what you're doing with everybody here, feel free. If you're taking a class, like Eileen is always taking a class. I don't see Eileen here yet, but Eileen is always taking a class and sharing her classes. So some of us have no class. Sorry, I couldn't resist. But if you're taking a class, feel free to talk about it. You can't, unless you're a mod, you can't put a direct link, but you can talk about it and say where to find it. So I'm just going to get kind of warmed up here and start shade. So you can see how this has taken so long, how this poster has just taken so long. Let's see. Again, if you want me to say something or comment on what you're talking about or your class or whatever, put it in caps so I can see it, because I glance over looking for the caps. I see other things too, but I'm looking for caps just to make sure I grab the main conversation. So Janice says some of us mods are link challenged, so be gentle. Well, it's all right, Janet. Trust me, if there's anything important to be linked, Pacola's here. She'll be on it. Hi, Beth. I wonder if it's fun to shade over the markers as much as I have. The acrylic paint gives you some tooth, Beth, to pencil on top of. Markers don't really give you that same amount of tooth. And of course, it is going to depend on, you want to make sure, of course, if you're using acrylic paint, not metallics, because pencils don't go well over that. But for the most part, acrylic paint is going to give you tooth that marker is not going to give you, but marker gives you a base so that you don't have to color all this in. Maybe I should do another little demo. I'll do a little demo here. Let me finish getting this color in here. You'll see what I mean by having a base. If I tried to color this whole little flower in pink, now you can do it, and I did it way before I started using acrylics and markers, but it's so much easier if you have a base to work on top of. As long as you have the colors that you need, as long as you have either the marker, the paint color, or the color you need to do it with, it's better to have a base. In this case, I just wanted, because the poster's huge. Again, it's 25 by 34. If you didn't see it at the beginning, it's a huge poster. And I could have painted that in pretty quickly, but I said, I'm going to do this in markers. But let me see. Let me get a little, here, get some scrap paper here. Okay. So a couple different things. Let me show you 3 different ways here. We'll just take a little moment. I'm not going to finish this whole poster today. Okay, so I'll show you a couple things with acrylic paint and marker. Let's see. Let's get some purple since that's what we're doing here. We'll get purple and then a purple or pink. Doesn't really matter. Let's just see. Let's see which one of these is working. Okay. Well, I don't want to do it on here because that'll go through. I got to think about that. Your marker's going to go through. Okay, I grabbed one that I've used up. Let's get one that I haven't used up. Okay, so here's some pink. All right, so there's some pink marker. And then let's put down some purple paint, just a dab. And I'm going to smear that. And I have to you always have to let your paint and marker, because marker stays wet for a minute. So you want to make sure both are dry. I'm going to hit it with the heat gun, but you want to make sure they're dry, because if not, you're going to pill your paper. Move my poster. Move it. Move it. Why? Move my poster. Why do you want me to move my poster? Does that matter? Okay. Let me dry this real quick. I'm doing this dark to make a point. This is dry, but it takes a minute. If you touch your marker and it's cold, then it's not dry. All right, let me get a baby white. All right, so, oh, I was going to do the pink here too. All right, so now here, let me do a nice layer of pink. I'll do a soft layer here, and then if you wanted a solid color, I'm going to go up here. Actually, I should show that in the purple. It'll show better. It'll show up better. It'll make my point better here. So let's say you wanted a nice solid purple like you have here, right? Y'all still with the tour? All right. So here we have, let's make a little notes. Where's my pen? I'll make a little note here, a little chart. Okay, so this is, I picked up a brush. Okay. All right, so this is marker, pencil, paint, well, I'll put acrylic, and pencil. Okay. All right, so this is why you want to base coat something, especially if you like to use paint. So let's say you wanted to color something really dark you just wanted it really dark and solid. All right. Well, here we have, let's see. Hang on, guys. Let's brighten this up just a tad. Here we have the dark colored solid, and here we have it with acrylic paint. Well, if you wanted to go over that, and I've shown this a lot of times, but you know, it never hurts to review. So if you wanted to go over this with light up with pencil, look, and I'm pushing as hard as I can on that. Look what it does. Trying to go over the dark pencil with light pencil. All right, now I'm going to clean the tip off. Always clean the tip off of your white pencil, because you'll smear into the next section. So especially if you're doing skin tones, you want to make sure. But now look here, this is on acrylic. I'm going to just go real lightly, barely holding the pencil. Look how that goes right over top of acrylic paint. And if I put any kind of pressure on it, look, I can almost get back to white paper. So here's the benefit of acrylic paint versus trying to go over pencil. Okay. Now I can do the same thing with the marker. It's just not as, maybe I should have done that darker. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and do that solid Okay, there I'm going over it with white. Here was with pencil. Okay, you see how you can go over, you can still go over the marker, and of course you can shade too. You can shade just fine on top of the marker. Okay, but you can't get that brightness back. You can't get those highlights back without having a base like that. Did that help, Beth? Did that help? Or anybody else? All right. Okay, so I'll set these aside. I always try to keep these because I always get asked, hi, Julie. Anybody else I missed? Because I always get asked that about the markers and the pencils and the paint. All right, so coming back over to the poster, into the little section we're working in. Right down here. You put something there to keep it from rolling. And go back to my, no, I don't want the dark purple. Here it is. Want the, okay, so let's put that there. Okay, so hibiscus, is that what it was? No, dahlia purple. I got dendria. Okay, so I'm going to go back here and just start shading a little bit more. Some of the dark. And it just takes time, guys. It just takes time to do a big poster like this. This is why I've been working on it for a couple of years. I just don't want to keep working on it solid, for no, just for myself. And, and you guys seeing it done. Because I'm going to go to the lighter color. I'm not hanging this up anywhere. I just love it. It's a beautiful poster. And I'm going back over the top of the purple and blending it out. Okay. If y'all need me to zoom or anything, just tell me. I'm relying on what y'all want to see. So now I'm going on top of the purple, going on top of the dark purple, and just a little bit out into the light area. So the marker gives me a base to work on top of, just like if it was acrylic paint. If it was acrylic paint, I would be able to do this, shade as well. Okay, so and all the, there's the different flat, here's like, this is smoke and ribbon. So you can see how I shaded in here to make the ribbon look like it's flowy. And I'm just going to blend out the pencil here. And then I'll take my Posca and add some highlights. Now, a couple of things about Posca. If you're going to try some Poscas, I recommend getting the white one because it's the most versatile one. It's versatile. The white one's versatile. We want a versatile marker. Hi, Judy. Marvelous mods. Fabulous fibs. Oh, that's good, Judy. I got to put that up there. Marvelous mods, fabulous fibs. Good morning. Hope everyone had a great weekend. For those of y'all that don't know, fibs are friends in the box. So, all right. So now I'm just going to kind of go in here and I do go a little faster on stream. Well, actually, most of the time it's a lot faster on stream so I can get more done. But when I'm coloring by myself or painting or doing anything, really, I don't rush through it. I'm not rushing through it because I want to enjoy the process. But when I'm doing a stream for you guys, I'm trying to show you as many techniques and tips and whatever I can. I'm trying to show you as many things as possible. So I do kind of go a little faster. I want this to be a little darker, this ribbon here coming out. So I do go a little faster. But when you're doing it, take your time, enjoy the process. That's, part of the fun of coloring or any art that you're doing. Okay, so put that in there. Now I can do a couple different things depending. Let's see. Val said, good morning. Would like to know how to join the society. Yeah, you just email me, Val. Email me your address, and I throw your name in the bucket. And then anytime we do a Society of Idea Collectors show, I pull a couple of names out of the hat, so to speak. You just have to tell me what kind of book or how you keep track of your ideas. How do you collect your ideas? Here's my email. How do you collect your ideas? And then your address too, so that if I pull your name out of the bowl, see, like last week, when I pulled two names out of the bowl and send out something to those two people, I haven't seen those people in probably 5 years. I don't even know if they still live in the same place. So we hope for the best. So, but I have to have your address, because if you don't send me your address, then I have no way of sending you a little gifty. So, all right. So here we go. I think that's pretty good as far as just starting a little bit of blend and base. So, and again, this flower just started out as just kind of flat like this. So there's no shading on this. So you just shade on top with color pencil. Oh, good, Val. Okay. All right. And now you can do a couple things. You can, depending on how stylized you want your highlights and stuff, or how realistic you might want it. This is really hard to do on this big poster. See, like this, I just outlined it. So I just outlined this with white just to give it that highlight. It's not made to look like a real flower would not have white lines completely around it, right? It'd be more like this. Now this one, I haven't done the highlights on the stamens here. So you can see I can go in here and add some highlights. Now here's the thing about a white Posca. The thing about doing it with a white is once the white dries, if it's too white, I can go over that with pencil or another marker and go back over that and knock it back, but it'll still be bright. It'll be brighter than if you just try to do that with a white pencil, which white pencil, as I showed you on the little card a minute ago, white pencil does not go over pencil very easily. Right. So let me see if I can do another little thing here. Which one should I do it on? Where was it going to show? All right. So let's just put some white Posca here to make it stand out. Now you have to let that dry. You got to let the Posca dry. And as soon as it dries, you can go back over it and knock it back. Maybe I can go over here too. Let's go over here on top. So let me just write here, Posca. Can I just set my hand in it? Look. So I go back over it. Now I gotta let it dry. Or hit it with the heat gun, which I'll do to make it quicker. And now, sip of juice. If it's too white, if it's too bright, then I can take my light color and go over the top of it, and it's still bright, but it's not white. See how it knocked it back? Let me do it on the purple one. You'll probably be able to see it better. Let's take same color here. The dark purple. All right, so now I can go over that white. Can even do some shading on it. And it's still very vibrant. It's still vibrant, but it's not pure white, but it's brighter, than it would be. So that's the same thing here. If that white is too bright, I can take an orange or a yellow or, whatever color you want and just go over the top of it. Hope that shows up. And you can still see how vibrant that white, where the white was, but it's not bright. See, look, see where I've done these over here and not those. So if you like it bright white, you can leave it bright white, but you can also knock it back if it's too bright. And go over, you can go over it with marker or pencil, whatever. You can go over either one. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I miss something? What did Mary say? Um, yeah, just been doing it a long time. Yeah, been doing it a long time. Okay, so let's go over to the flower now. Now, I don't know that, see, I've got some that are outlined. I don't think I've actually done any, see, I haven't done any of these roses yet. So I can do this however I want. I haven't done any of these little pink and purple roses. So I can do whatever I want. And do I want to just maybe give it some outline on just some edges, maybe in some of the folds, the ripples on the because I am doing this in a semi stylized way. I'm not trying to make it look like a photographic real, like I do my portraits and things like that. This is very I can do what you know some stylized lines and stylized highlighting and stuff. So it doesn't have to be like, oh, the light is coming from this side, and it's just making some areas brighter so it stands out over the whole. Because when you look at the whole poster, you want to see areas that stand out. So I'm just going to kind of go around some of the edges just a little. And see how that makes it just kind of stand out a little bit, kind of pop. And again, if you don't like it being that bright, then let it dry and go back over it. Go back over it with a pencil. But I want some areas that are really, really bright like that. Maybe on that ribbon too, a little, not right there, but on the edge. There we go. Up there. So just that's enough right there. Just that little bit. Okay. Yeah, hopefully Eileen's. I don't think Eileen was in the path of the. I don't know if it was a downgraded to a tropical storm, but I don't think in Boca Raton that she had hurricane force winds. I don't know. I haven't heard since the storm went through, but I'm sure Eileen's okay. I haven't seen or heard from her this morning. Hi, Amanda. I haven't seen Connie for a few weeks. Melody. Let me make a note to write send her a note. Mail Connie. I will mail her Connie, and I'll say Melody asked about you. I will tell her you asked. I mean, we're all asking, but you brought it up, so I'm gonna make sure and tell her you asked. Um, okay, Kenny said Melody. She messaged me about 2 weeks ago. She said she is keeping to herself. Oh, I hope she's all right. By keeping to herself, does she mean like staying away from? She social distancing, or is she like, what that could mean nowadays? That can mean a lot of different things. Keeping to yourself, right? Shell said I have to take the kids to the park. Okay, all right. Come back when you can, Shell. Yeah, it has been a while since she's been in chat, Julie. All right, so see, did that kind of help you guys? I think I need a little bit more highlight on that back side. There's a nice dark shadow there. I want to kind of, you can kind of with Posca, with Posca, if you get something too, when you first put it down, if it's too stark, you can kind of soften the edges while it's wet. See? So let's do that again. So I'll just put that on there like that. And then if you just, while it's wet, you can kind of tap it back, which is nice on edges so you don't have a harsh edge. Because sometimes when you put down some white Posca, it has like, you can see where you touched it down and where it picked up. Sometimes it'll be thicker. But while it's wet, you can take your finger and kind of tap, tap it out and make it softer. So, did Connie come in? Somebody just said hi, Connie. Did she just come in? Did I miss her popping in? I don't see her. Okay, somebody said hi, Connie, but I don't see Connie. Okay. Hi, CB. Teresa. It's so big, Teresa. I can't even imagine framing this thing. It's 25 by 34. I have no, well, I could put it on a wall, but this does not go in any place in my house. Oh, CB's name. Oh, I see. Okay. So you're saying hi to CB. Okay. Thanks, Bacoa. Okay. The other, okay. Thank you. All right. So now, some of these areas, like these ribbons, have let's just say if I wanted some brighter areas, I'm going to show you some Posca things here. All right, so I can go on here with this white Posca. See how bright that is? But on the edges, I can kind of smooth it out just so it's not so harsh. But then see how it's nice and bright? So if you want some nice bright highlights, Posca is so bright. So you can get some nice bright highlights in here with Posca and just kind of tap like that. And of course, you can always go back in there with pencil and do some adjusting, but you can get some nice bright highlights with the Posca. And again, if you don't want it a white highlight, which I do in this case, but if you don't want it a white highlight, as soon as it dries, go over it with some pencil. All right, so let's put a little bit in here. Just kind of softening the edges there. And practice if you don't feel comfortable doing this with your finger. Practice on another piece of paper till you get it how you think you can touch it and make it the way you want. But all this poster, and I will show the whole poster again in a little bit. It'll take some time. That's why it hasn't been finished in 2 years. All right, so here's some of this gold right here. Same thing. If I want some nice bright highlights. And if the white's too bright, then you can go back over it with the yellow or an orange and knock it back. But I just kind of want to, so you can see how you can do so much with the Posca, just one white Posca. But get the pointy, get the small one. It's better to get the pointy one instead of the bullet tip. And there's even a smaller one than this. But this one works well. It's the 0.7, I think. 0.7. All right, so let's see where else. Okay, let's go over to this ribbon here. And again, if I want to highlight, you can go both. You can kind of go across the grain like that, depending on the kind of fabric it is, or if you want the grain of the ribbon to look grainy, go one way. And again, guys, if it gets to be too much, you go, oh, that's just way too bright or too much. And I'm also working on the crevice right here. This is the fold of the paper right there. So you're working with a little bit of the fold of the paper too, in the case of a poster like this. All right, so I'm gonna let that dry, and I'll show you. I'll go over this just a little bit. I like it really nice and bright for this poster, but I'll knock it back just a little so you can see. If y'all have any questions, put it in caps. I said I need to work on this because I don't know when I'm gonna do it. Hi, Fly Daniel. Don't follow Fly Fox Pro. Go follow him. Hi, CB. CB posted some new pictures. If y'all don't follow CB on social media, she's an awesome artist. She just doesn't stream or do make videos, which is unfortunate because her work is amazing and she's not getting it's not getting seen. Can I show some of your stuff on Twitter that you posted, CB? Or where should I look to see it, to show it? I'm waiting to get her permission. Do we have trolls? Well, my mods are pretty good about handling trolls. Y'all, if you're a troll and you come in here, you're going to be banned. You might as well not even bother. You might as well just sit in the background and enjoy everything and not be a pain because you're just going to get yourself banned. And then, what fun is that? Sitting in, or if you're a lonely person or a mean person and you just need a friend, come in and join the chat. You don't have to be a ass. Just come in and make friends instead. But of course, we always have to recognize that when school is out, there's a lot of 12-year-olds on the loose. And so the kids come in, and that happens. Okay, so I'm going to just kind of soften some of the edges a little bit with that. See how that knocks it back a little? um Pacola is everybody's awesome mod. If you are lucky enough to have Pacola as one of your mods, you are blessed indeed. Not that I don't love my Julie and Janet. That I tease them all the time. Did CB answer? Not CB Coloring Craft, but CB, the other CB. Did she answer if I could show her stuff that she posted on Twitter? I'm waiting to see. Let me scroll back. Did she say? Yeah, she does. There she is. CB Carol. Can I show your stuff that you posted on Twitter? Let me go find you. So I'm hoping you're going to say yes. Because she posted some nice art. She posted. Oh, there's even more than I thought. Okay, there she is. Okay, so she does these awesome little faces and real beautiful girls. All right, here's one she did with someone with a mask. Oh, wait, let me turn the light back up. Maybe that'll make a difference. So this is some of CB's here. There's a little nurse that she did. There's a fox. And let's see here. There's another one of her faces. And some different Asia. She's doing an Asian pocketbook thing. There's one of her faces. So again, she needs to be out there doing where we can see. Let me go to her media. Oh, and there's a parrot there. I missed the parrot. There's a parrot. Aren't they beautiful, guys? Yeah, CB's she's just like our little hidden away talent. Here is where she did from Kathy Arbor. We call it Kathy, CASS, Cass. She does classes on Thursday at 1 a.m. 1 p.m. Eastern, Kathy Arbor. And this Carol did, Carol, we call her CB. She did her the project with Kathy, and there's the project CB did. with Kathy's class. So that's one of CB. Carol. Let's see what else does she have in here. What else? Oh. Okay. So anyway, I can't tell you to go follow her videos because she's not making any. All right, so now I'm gonna go back over. Let's get another. What color do I want to do? I kind of want a nice lilac color. Here we go. So if I want to knock back some of the white highlight here, you can do that. You just got to make sure it's dry, because if it's not dry, you're just gonna scrape up the Posca. And again, you can go in here with marker as well. So I want to keep most of that highlight right there on the high points, but I can knock it back with pencil. So see how that looks? Oh, just love it. All right, let's knock that back just a little. Hi, Molly. Good to see you. Molly, you should have Happy Mail coming your way. Well, CB, you need to just stop, not just smile, but make some videos. Always picking on people. And I have not decided, guys, if I want my black background. I'm going to wait till it's all done and decide if I want stars in the background or not, or just leave it solid black, just leave it solid black in the background. Or do I want to put stars in the, so y'all know I love me some stars. Okay, so here where I put that, let me go in here with some yellow on top of that white. And so I'm going to go over it, and it still keeps the vibrancy. It still keeps that nice bright highlight, but it's not white. But you still see through the pencil with the white Posca. So I recommend, if you do color booking or drawing and highlighting or anything, and get you a white Posca. I'm telling you, get you a white Posca. You will be amazed at the highlighting and detailing that you can do, that you can't really do unless with maybe an acrylic paint and a brush, because that's what it is. It's acrylic paint in a marker. So, oh, you got it? Oh, good, Molly. All right. Hi, 3G. Kathy Berg. Who else am I missing? Anybody else that I missed coming in? Said hi to Kalora Becky, if y'all don't follow her, let me, I'm going to bring up, I like to promote people. What can I say, guys? A lot of rabbit trails here because I'm promoting you guys, talking classes, encouraging y'all to, it's just what I do. So, oh, and here's another person that just popped up. If you don't follow Brian _ Shearer, he does drawing videos. He does drawing videos on YouTube, and look at his amazing work here. Let's see here. He does amazing drawings as well, and he does them on YouTube. So follow Brian _ Shearer on IG, and you can find him on YouTube as well. All right, let me go over to Kalora Becky. Is it under Becky? I forget what it's under. Let me go to Becky. Is it under Becky? What's your IG name again, Kalora? Becky. Oh, there she is. I found it. Never mind. Okay, so she's been through a lot the last year, more than just the virus stuff. No, not saying she had the virus, not saying that at all. Or anybody in her family, but she had a lot of things in her life, and a major move and all kinds of stuff going on. And she was just getting back into drawing before a lot of things happened to her. But she did finally finish this one picture that she's been working on for some months. And it was a portrait commission. Look at that, guys. Isn't that awesome? Little baby with the passy, with the little passy in her mouth. So, yeah, there's Kalora right up there, Kalora 1. So if you don't follow her, go over there and follow her on IG. She's got some let me see. Let's find one of her other drawings. So yeah, she's awesome. CB, CB, you're not on Instagram even. You need to at least be on IG, if not on anything else. Um, Here's another little portrait that she did some time back. So yeah, I don't think I don't think CB is on IG. She should be if she's not. CB, fess up. Are you on IG, CB? Because I'm sure I follow you if you are, but I can't keep up with every single person that's on here. Oh, here's another one of Kalora's little. Here's one of her the photograph in her picture she's working on, and this was back from 2000 August. This was a year ago. So this was a year ago. Oh, that was a year ago that Kalora was working on that. So yeah. Um, you forget to go to IG? Well, we're reminding you, CB. We're reminding you. You forgot. Oh my gosh, CB. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of let me back out again so you can kind of see the whole poster here. All right, let's move the heat gun. Move some of the pencils so I can show you how big this poster is. This thing is huge. Look how big it is. My hand. The whole thing is 25 by 34. So you can see how much I still have left to shade. Well, all this needs to be shaded. These wings here. Maybe I should. Well, I thought I was going to just do the flower work on the flowers today. Here's the one I just did down here. This is what they look like. This is what they look like before anything's done on them, except just marker. But all these feathers need to be done. Maybe I'll roll up there. Now, the nice thing about a poster, I have had to be careful because I've opened and closed it so much it can tear. So I do have to kind of be careful. So I'm going to fold this in half and let's fold this up here. Fold that and fold it this way and go up here to these wings. And these flowers too, if I want. It would be I just don't have a place for it. I just don't. But I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love it. Okay, Kalora, thanks. First time in a while. Okay, you'll do great, Kalora. Becky. Kalora is Becky. But you'll do awesome, Becky. Okay, God bless, Beck. Bye. Thanks, guys. All right, so let's see. Let's just maybe just work a little bit on the feathers here. All right, so let's see. Let's start with this part right here. I've already started with some of the one shade of purple. Let me move all these that I'm using up here at the top now that I've moved the poster this away. Move the poster this away. Oh, thanks, Dee. Beautiful without the shading. Yeah, but it's just time consuming. Okay, so now I'm going to go back in here with the dark purple. So I've already got, this is the marker right there. Then I've already got one layer with a pinky purple. I'm not sure which one it is. Is it the Dahlia purple? No, but I think I will go with the Dahlia purple now. Let me get a sharpener. Sharpen. You always, keep your pencils sharp. It's just behooves you. And also make sure, I've said this another time or a lot of times on using pencils. Let's see if I could find one that wasn't centered. I'm just going to look right here at a bunch of pencils to see if I can find If I can find one not centered to show you. I'm usually pretty careful about buying centered pencils. So, here's one. Okay. So when you buy individual pencils, this is what I'm going to use. When you buy your individual pencils, always, because you can, see the barrel and the lead. It's not lead, it's pigment, but when you can buy them individually. Now, if you buy the sets, you get what you get, right? But when you go to Blick or Hobby Lobby or wherever you buy your Prismacolor pencils, always look at the barrel. Now, let's see if I can show this here. All right, can y'all see how that is centered? Can y'all see the center, how that's a centered lead? Now, I pulled one here that is not 100% centered. Let's see if y'all can see the difference. It's not off a lot. It's not off a lot, but it's off a little. And I don't know, maybe I could find. I'm so careful about not buying any ones that are, here we go. Here's one. All right, that one's much more obvious. Can you see how, maybe if I do this, see how that is not in the center? If you get one that is not in the center, every time you sharpen it, it's going to break. Well, not every time, but it's more apt to break if the lead is not centered. And I use lead, just speaking generally, it's not lead. But you always want to check the backs and make sure that it's centered. Yeah, or you just have that. Yeah, exactly, Gail. If you buy them on, and most of us do buy sets anyway. We buy sets online. So, yeah, you're kind of out of luck. Or if you want to send them back. All right, let's zoom in just one more here. I'm trying to hold my hand back from the pencil so that you can see what I'm doing and not get like this. And then you can't. I don't work that way anyway, but hold it a little extra far back so you can see. I'm just getting nice darks down in there. And remember, you don't want to bear down on your pencils, because what you're going to prevent yourself from building layers if you do that. It's better to do nice soft layers so you can put more and more layers on top. You can get, I don't know, 20 layers on top if you're gentle. And if you're doing portraits or animals or anything realistic, you want to be able to put lots of layers. I'm not putting that many layers on this, maybe 3 or 4 on top of the marker. But if you want lots of layers, if you bear down, you've smashed the paper and you've put a coat of wax if you're using wax-based pencils. And so you're not going to be able to, you can hard pressure and put more on top, but you're not going to be able to blend. You won't be able to blend colors if you've hard pressured down a layer of wax. So take your time. You may not even hardly be able to see that. Oh, you can see it a little. See how I've gone from there to there with just that light layer. Let's see. Who else? Yeah, I guess Debbie the Jeweler said if you order from Blick, you could comment to them in the ordering section, the comment section, to make sure. They might do it. My local Blick downtown Atlanta a few years ago, of course I haven't been lately anyway, but a few years ago when I went in there, and my Blick always has the nicest customer service in there. I was buying a few pencils, and I of course I scanned the whole back. You can see the back, you see every color, and you see the back of every pencil. So I just, just lightly scanned it, and you can spot them in a second. You can spot them in a second. So I asked the guy to come over. I said, can I show you something? He went, sure. I said, have you ever noticed the centers on the back of these Prismacolors when you're putting them away? And he goes, no. I said, look at them. Look at the leads. And so I pointed it out to him. He goes, oh my gosh, I never noticed that. And I said, well, the problem with them um, buying these is when they go to sharpen them, 9 times out of 10, 8 out of 10, I never really, more often than not, they're going to break because they're not centered. And he said he didn't know that. So maybe they'll be more, careful. Of course, that was a couple years ago. And, Prismacolor's gone through many revisions and, different companies or different places. They went to Mexico for a while. Then I think they came back. And then at some point they were better. Then they got worse and they got better. They were Eagle, then Barrel, then Sanford, then Prisma Premier. So they've been through a lot of variations, and I'm sure in every time they have been through quality issues off and on. But I used to have sets and sets of Barrel, the old Barrel, because that's what I started with. I didn't go back as far as Eagle. Eileen says I don't know if Eileen actually bought them when they were Eagle because she'd have to be really, really old. But but she has some old Eagle ones. Well, I always tease Eileen, but if you have some of the Barrel ones, they're awesome. So if you can ever find them, like I've looked a couple times, but I'm just so used to using. It's okay. One of these days maybe I might go hunt me up some barrels, some old Barrel ones. But they seem to be softer. Something about them were just better. But again, they've been through many transliterations, I guess is what you'd say. And since they've been Prisma premieres, you can't hardly, you wouldn't know at what point, what set you got. Was it 5 years ago? Was it last week? Yeah, it's hard to say. Oh, speaking of, look, I pulled this one out. Look, it's a Barrel. See right there, it says Barrel Prismacolor. This is older. Now, maybe is Sanford older than Barrel? I can't remember which order it was in. It's either Sanford or Barrel. I think Barrel's older than Sanford, but I could have those backwards. But anyway. Okay, so now I've done a little bit of more shading there, and I'm going to keep this handy, but I want to get in there now with the dark purple. What do I do with that? Here it is. And again, I want to sharpen. You want to keep everything nice and sharp. Barrel. I don't know about that, Amanda. What pencil sharpener? I use. I have so many. Right now, I just picked up this little plastic one, and as long as it's sharpening well, I'll use it. But if I was going to recommend one, I'd recommend one of these brass ones because, for one thing, you can change the blade. You can change the blade yourself. They're heavy. They just feel good when you're using them in your hand. This one I used to be able to get at Michael's. You can get them both at Blick or they're M&R, M+R, and they're made in Germany, and they're really good. But a metal one, any metal one. But this I just happened to just pick up the plastic one today. So this was this Woody. I used this one for a long time. It's woodcutter. It's also made in Germany. It's a Coom woodcutter one. So anyway, yeah, I'm not real picky. If it's sharp, if it stops sharpening, stop working, I stop using it. Yeah, you can or Blick online. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to go with the this is black cherry. May not even be quite dark enough. I don't think it is. I'm going to go with, let me get my dark purple. I need dark purple, I think, or maybe even black. Let's see. How dark do I want? Now I think dark purple would probably be good enough. Okay, let's see. So I just want to get in some of these real tight little dents. And I don't know, can y'all see where I've done that right there? Can you see just that little extra? So just shade, just keep shading as dark as you want. I like high contrast in my coloring. So I'm going to have a lot of, black, dark black or close to it, or, and white, and I just like a lot of contrast. It just makes the piece pop. What else? I was working on something else over the weekend. What was it? I'll have to think about it. Nanamo said M&R are her favorites. Rarely break pencils if blades are kept sharp. Replaced regularly. Oh, Juanita. She spins, i.e. Littlefoot. If you don't follow Juanita, she spins. She literally spins. And she was showing how she was spinning one time years ago. I've known Juanita online for a long time. Probably goes back 9 years. Anyway, on from back in Ustream and YouTube way back. But anyway, not quite as far as Julie. Julie Topaz is the I Carry Love and Blade the Artistic Biker were the first 3 streamers, or well, Julie doesn't stream, but the first people in streams that I met. But anyway, so she spins. Juanita was she actually was spinning one time, and she had her foot there, and she has a little foot, so I started calling her She Spins Littlefoot. So yeah, so that's why I call her Littlefoot. She has a little foot. So if you like anything yarn related, knitting, crocheting type stuff, or actual spinning, then follow She Spins. And yeah, and I'll tell y'all, I gotta tell y'all this. Back when exercising first, when Jane Fonda and everybody was, really into exercise. Well, this is probably a little after that, because I don't remember when spinning came out. But I was a lot younger, and I was active and at work, and I was working in visual merchandising, and the kids were growing up, lots of things going on in life. I had a life outside of my studio, and I'd hear all my friends, everybody's talking about spinning, and we're gonna go spinning after work. You want to come? I went, and I'm thinking to myself, I don't even own a skein of yarn. Why do I want to go spinning? And I was, how many people, do you all have spinning wheels in your house? And they meant the bike spinning, but I didn't know. I thought, oh my gosh, I thought to myself, I'm out of the loop. But there's been many times when I've been out of the loop. But I thought, spinning? Everybody's taking up knitting and spinning their own wool. I know, Devin. And I know I've told this story too, but I don't mind telling on myself, because, I've told this story before too. When I went back to college in my 30s, and, I've always, let me back up. I've always used computers in office settings with the big mainframes, and you got your, you have your computer on your desk and stuff like that. This was before I was in visual merchandising. So this goes way back, right? I've known computers and desks, top computer working, and, number crunching and all that. But I had not had at this point, I did not have a desktop. with Windows. I didn't know anything about Windows or none of that, and I was in my 30s. This is a while back, guys. Okay. And so anyway, I went back to college in my 30s, and the English teacher said, okay, everybody make sure to go to the library and set up your email. Y'all have not heard this story. You're going to think, OMG. You're going to think that. And of course, I don't get embarrassed easy. I'm always the one raising my hand, asking the questions, and well, what about this? And and I'm a loud talker. Things just like this don't bother me. And even after I figured this out, it still didn't really embarrass me. I don't know. It's just like it's life. I just don't. Anyway, so I was in the back of the room this time, and I usually sit up the front row when I'm in a class. But she said, so everybody go to the library and set up your emails. This was like the first day of class, right? And and I'm raising my hand. She goes, yes, yes. She had said my name and it called me out. I said, where do we get those keys? Where do we get the keys for the email when we go to the library? And I could hear a lot of the young kids around me going, snickering right next to me. She goes, just go to the library and they'll explain it to you. Okay, so from that, and I got to say, now give me a minute. So from that, oh gosh, this was a long time ago, Gail. So from there, I think it was the next week or two after that, my friend told one of my friends said, oh, you need to get you a desktop. And I was thinking, well, yeah, I would probably need one for school. But why do I need, I was thinking like a glorified time. I'm thinking before Windows, right? I'm thinking back when I used computers at work, right? And I'm thinking, what? And she goes, there's this thing called IRC. Well, we were on MRIC, but there's this thing called IRC, and you can get on there and you can talk to people all over the world. You can talk to people all over the world. Oh, it was a long time ago, Gail. And I go, why do I want to do that? Why do I want to talk to people all over the world? But Hubster, I said, okay. I said, and back then a computer with the monitors, well, it's those big, chunky, compact, they're called, it was a compact brand. They weren't anything but compact. They're like a big TV on your desk, right? Mm-mm. So I told husband, I said, she said, I need to get a computer. I could probably use it for school. I could use it for this. And so I said, so he combined my Christmas, my anniversary, my birthday, combined everything and got me a $2,000, compact computer. And I'm one of these people that are determined, guys. It did not floor me that I didn't even know what email was. Didn't floor me at all. So the next day the next week, Hubster went out. We got my compact computer with the, chunky keyboard. I mean, here's my keyboard now. Look, this is my keyboard now, right? No wires, mouse. And but everything was wired and hardwired. And so he set it up, plugged in this wire to the telephone cord. And he goes, welcome. You've got mail. And you had to have a CD to get AOL. You had to have their CD. You couldn't just go online and download AOL. You had to get the CDs. And he goes, there you go. And I went, well, what's that little red X in the corner do? And Hubster goes, you'll figure it out. But from that, I mean, I'm talking probably less than 2 days later, I was on IRC, configured IRC. If you knew IRC back in the day, I'm talking 25 years ago, 30, early, I mean, like 1991. I don't remember. Anyway, he said, and I said, I figured out IRC. So I was online talking to people in chat rooms all over the world within 2 days of not knowing what the little red X in the corner was. You remember it, Tavarna? Yeah. Well, yeah, and we had inner office emails and stuff like that in office settings, Gail, but I never used Windows, right? And that's a complete different thing when you can go online to the world. Yeah, and she spends, yeah, that was when you were in the, yeah. For those y'all, Juanita was in the military as well. So, uh, yeah, you get those CDs in the mail all the time, 3G. Yeah. Oh, hi, Eileen. There's Eileen. So okay, I know I got off track here, guys, but sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Rabbit trail. Where's that? Here, Sharon's. Well, I keep this handy because Sharon. I love this. Sharon L. Not Sharon Lombard, but another Sharon L. Sent me this some time ago, and I bring it out every now and then just to show y'all what our channel is like here. Rabbit trail. Dee Dee says I have to watch out for you. So I pull that out every now and then. I keep that handy. All right. So anyway, that was a little embarrassing to all the kids, but hey, I was in my 30s. They were all 17, 18, 19. There's a few people my age that had gone back to school. I'm going to go ahead and sharpen this, and then I'm going to work on this next color up here. There's a few people my age that had gone back to school in their 30s, but not a lot. And even though you think, and again, I don't know what it's like nowadays. I don't know what it's like nowadays in school, but I'd be the one to always ask questions. If there was, if I didn't understand something, if I didn't know something, I'd raise my hand and ask questions. And some of the kids would like roll their eyes and go, oh, we just want to get out of here. Don't ask any more questions. But then I'm going to tell you, let's be honest, after class, they'd come up to me and go, I was just too embarrassed to ask that question. I didn't care if I was embarrassed. I wasn't. But they'd they'd say, I'm so glad you asked that question because I really needed to know that answer, but I was too embarrassed to ask. And I'm never embarrassed to ask a question. If you need to know something, I will ask. It's just so, So I remember having to use all these text commands in RC. Oh, there were so many things to configure back then. It wasn't just like this was before like all the Apple kind of ease, right? You had to go in and do a lot of configuring if you wanted to have your text be a color or uh, just even the size of your fonts. It wasn't just like a push of the button like everything we do now is so easy, right? But it wasn't that. It was a little more complicated, but I was determined to get in those chat rooms that day. Like, I think it took me 2 days, but so anyway, but they'd all I got to keep sharpening and keeps going dull here. They would all say, oh, I'm so glad you asked because I really wanted to know the answer to that question, but I was too embarrassed to ask. And I thought to myself, well, then we had to take, and bless his heart, I'll never forget this guy. I hope he did well in the end. But we had to take a speech class. I guess everybody had to take one, and I remember I was out of school for a long time. I was going back. This is my first semester I'm talking about here. And we had to take a speech class. And of course, I still have the video around here on VHS somewhere. And where we did our final speech. But before that we got to that point, there was this one kid, 18 years old, and he would talk to us in class. I mean, those of us in the class, he was, cordial and talk with us and everything, but he confided in us that he had a fear of speech making. And come to find out, that is a really a major fear with a lot of people is speaking in public. And so is Eileen causing trouble? Eileen's one of my mods, but she's hit or miss. She's hit or miss. And she's a troublemaker. We got to watch that Eileen. You will be buying something. If you hang out with Eileen, you will be buying something. I love to tease our Eileen. And she is one of my mods, and I sometimes don't mention her because she's not always here. I think I streamed too early for her, but but we love you, Eileen. So anyway, this kid said he was afraid to speak in public. I said, well, we all said, well, look, it's just us. You talk to us all the time. It wasn't like there was going to be a speech in front of a commencement or anything. It was just us, right? And he goes, no, I can't do it. And we go, it's just us. Just imagine, and you will be just talking to just us. I can't do it. And I think he's kind of psyched himself out that he couldn't do it. So we all wrote our speeches and talked about what we were going to, and we'd read, some of what we were going to talk about and all that. And sure enough, when it was his turn to get up there, he went up to the podium and he got a blank look on his face and he couldn't even open his mouth. And we go, it's okay. I don't remember his name. It's okay. Whatever. Just us. It's just us. Just talk to us like you're talking to us. And he couldn't do it. And the teacher just finally, I don't know, I hope he passed the class. I don't remember. But he could not get up there and speak. And, I had no problem getting up and speaking. I could talk anywhere to anybody. I never met somebody I didn't know. If you're a stranger in a bookstore and you look like you're having trouble finding something, I'll walk right up to you and help you. Oh, do you work here? Oh, no, I just look like you needed some help. It's that kind of thing. So anyway, but I watched my speech back after I made it. And it was okay, good speech and all that. But I watched it back and I was wearing a suit. And it wasn't quite it wasn't so far back like into the 70s where we had those ginormous shoulder pads, right? But it had a suit. It was a business suit. And the business suit had some built-in shoulder pads, not the Dallas TV show kind of, I've told y'all my losing one of the shoulder pads story before. But anyway, it wasn't quite that bad. But they had shoulder pads in the suit. Oh, good, Gail. Gail said I was still going to college when my son started in college. That's awesome. And so anyway, I watched the speech back, and the speech was fine, but I guess it was a nervous tick of some kind. But how do I show this? I don't know if I can put. All right, imagine this is my shoulder. I don't know if I can do this, but I kept doing like a shoulder tick. I kept doing like a shoulder lift on one shoulder. It was like I kept lifting my shoulder on one side, not constantly, but every so often I should just be my shoulder would just like. And I thought, and Hubster watched it back with me. He goes, "Did you notice that you had that shoulder tick?" Oh, no. But hey, I didn't care. I passed the class. I mean, I always did good. I always made sure I had good grades. But anyway, it was funny. It was funny that people are. It's hard for some people to talk in public, and some people, I guess you just kind of have to have a I don't care. You kind of have to have a I don't care, and and the same thing like if you're streaming or doing art and you mess up, it's like, so what? So what if you mess up? You either start over, you fix it, or you just go, hey, I messed it up, and what are you going to do? You just can't be so concerned about what people think to the point that it paralyzes you from doing anything. You just can't do it. And you have to not care so much that what people think, that when you get thumbs down or trolls or haters, you just gotta roll with it, Yeah, it was a business suit back in the day. We didn't wear them all the time. We didn't wear them to school, but for a presentation, she wanted us to have a professional attitude in our speech, so we all dressed up, had a suit, or that's what we did. You did back then when you wanted to, do something professional. But okay, so now I've got a little bit darker. I haven't carried it all the way out to the like right in here. I guess maybe let me sharpen again. And yeah, but so I don't know. I've just never really worried too much. And I can't say I've never been embarrassed. Everybody gets embarrassed about something, but it's like, don't let it stop you. Don't let it hold you back. I know I told you. Oh, I'll tell. Well, I'm just coloring here. I'll tell a couple more. And then most of y'all probably heard these stories. So if you're lurking, Elaine. Yeah, exactly, Debbie. If you don't make mistakes, you're not growing. So I'll tell two stories that would have kind of been embarrassing, I guess, other than the what where do I get my key for my email? But I'll tell two stories. One is about, and they both have to do with my feet. Well, sort of. So the first one I tell about, something embarrassing that happened to you is I was probably about 12, 11, 12, something like that. And, we went to the roller rink all the time. That was a big thing. Roller skating rink. Someplace it kind of came back for a while and then kind of goes and kind of comes back. But it was a real big thing. And I'm not talking rollerblades here, people. I'm talking roller skates. Roller skates, the white ankle, the kind like boots, white boot roller skates that you laced up. And me and my girlfriends, oh, we just thought we were so hot and cool. We were 11, 12 years old, and we were always in all the contests. They'd have contests where you'd race each other. They'd have races and tricks, and could you do the what do you call that when they had the bar across and you had to go backwards under the bar? What is that called? One of y'all know. And you had to, like limbo, like the limbo, you'd limbo on your roller skates and you'd go limbo. We could do all that. And we were just so good at it. And we went to the skating rink every Friday and Saturday night, and they play the loud music. I can still remember some of the songs. Anyway, so we thought we were real cool and we were zipping around. And I don't think it was during a race, but we were zipping around, and you'd fling each other, you'd get some momentum with your friends, and you'd sling them so they'd go real fast and everything. So we were going around the rink looking all, yeah, the limbo. We were looking all pretty, and we probably had some lipstick on, thought we were hot. And all of a sudden, now I've always talked this loud, people. I'm not kidding. I've always talked this loud. I'm going to move back over to the dahlia purple now. I want to get a little bit more color in this, and so all of a sudden, we saw this wheel go rolling by, just a wheel. A wheel just went rolling by. It was the funniest thing, and I went, look, somebody's wheel. Somebody's wheel. Of course, everybody turns to look because I'm so loud. And I went, bam! It was mine. Oh my goodness. So yeah, be careful, be careful out there, people, when you're laughing at something. Yeah, the wheel went rolling by and it was mine. Hi, Whippy Carol. So that was a could have been an embarrassing moment. But when those kind of things happen to you, and also I was raised in the military and married the military, and I've moved like 30 times in my life. When you're moving and making friends, redoing, remaking your life every, few months or a couple of years, you just got to you get over that I think, same for my girls, they moving a lot, changing schools, you make new friends, you just do. All right, so you can see how that's starting to kind of feather out a little bit. I was just telling Brad this story a couple of days ago. And And then the other stories. Now I gotta tell you, I'm gonna tell a little. I love Hubster. Sometimes he pops in just to see how the videos go. I don't know if he's here at this moment, but he never chats. He doesn't log in or anything. But every now and then he'll pop in the show. So I'm gonna tell a little on him. Hubster has a dry sense of humor. He is very funny, but it's a very dry sense of humor. And the things he does. Oh, and I'll give you this story real quick. I'll do a little rabbit trail within the rabbit trail. Why the girls grew up not being embarrassed of things so easy was because of Hubster. He would make them like he would just say, "There's no reason for you to be embarrassed or let other people's influence guide you, or not guide you, but just influence you." Peer pressure. We're always big on not letting peer pressure get to your kids. Don't be influenced by people. Don't get so embarrassed or pressured into doing things by other people. So he's real funny. He would do things like, this is one thing he did to them, and I'm going to tell you what he's done to me. He would, when they had a slumber party, the girls had a slumber party, had all their friends, and Annie was always in with the popular group. Annie was a beauty queen. She was homecoming queen. Annie was very popular. Denise was one of those, I don't care. Hey, I'm out of money. Anybody got any bottles I can go cash in for? That's kind of how Denise was. And so she never really, I don't think she ever really got embarrassed about anything. Annie kind of got embarrassed about some stuff. But we were going to get them over that real quick. All right, so now I'm going to move into the next purple here just to kind of blend that in. And again, I'm doing very light pressure, guys. Very light pressure so that I can keep building up layers. So they had a slumber party and all their friends were over. And I know some of y'all don't email me. I know a lot of y'all know me for years. I've heard this story for a lot of times. Oh, thank you, Becky and Steve. I hope y'all are doing well. Hope everything's going well. I haven't seen you in a few weeks, I don't think, or I've missed seeing you. So about 6 o'clock, I don't know, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. I don't remember what time. It was real early in the morning. Hubster goes out and starts mowing the front yard. And I'm talking about one where you have to like pull the cord, push mower, that kind, and started mowing the yard. Well, not only just mowed the yard, but of course the girls woke up because it was right outside the window where they were sleeping. And they all woke up and looked out the window like, who's mowing so early? Hubster was out there in Bermuda plaid shorts, plaid Bermuda shorts down to his knee, black socks, wingtip shoes. I don't think he was wearing a sleeveless t-shirt because he never really, I don't remember what kind of shirt he was wearing. But he had the wingtip shoes, black socks, plaid Bermuda shorts, probably a belt, a shirt tucked in, I'm sure. Anything he could to look as dorky as like the dad on Back to the Future. He tried to as dorky as he could and was out mowing his yard. And he wanted the girls to not be, just get over it. If one of your relatives is weird, if you're weird, Denise always wore glasses. Well, she always wore glasses up until junior high. She got contacts. But we just never wanted them to be intimidated by peer pressure and stuff like that. So that's the story. So anyway, just to set this up, that's the kind of stuff that Hubster would do, and he's so funny. And the whole family thinks he's the funniest thing they've ever met. But he's got a dry sense of humor. He's not loud and boisterous like me, all outgoing and la da da. He's not like that. He's very calm, cool, and collected and hilarious. But he's not animated like me. He's just very calm. He'll sit back, take a sip of coffee and then crack you up with something. So the other foot story I'm going to tell was he would always do stuff like this, and you just gotta, if you're embarrassed easily, this is not the kind of husband and or wife you want. You don't want to be married to somebody like this if you get embarrassed easy, because you'll be under the floor all the time. So we were at the movies, and we both love to play video games, and the arcade games. I should differentiate between video games and arcade games. So we would go and we would play arcade games like before the movie, right? And back then they had big arcade rooms that you could go to while you're waiting for your movie. And of course, we both love Miss Pac-Man, and he liked Tetris, or I don't remember now, but I love Miss Pac-Man. And so we'd always be playing these different games like that. So I'll tell two stories. I don't know if it happened on the same, could have happened on the same day. To tell the truth, it could have happened on the same day. So we were playing the video games, and I'm going to get some black. I want some real, real dark lines right in those crevices. And I have another black. I got plenty of black and white. People go, wow, why are you, picking up a nub? I've got the nubs in pencil holders, and I just grab whatever. So this is like on top, I just grab it. Then I could grab this one, right? So it doesn't matter to me. I'll use both. So we're playing video games, and again, I have a loud voice. So I was playing Ms. Pac-Man or something, and I ran out of money, so I went up to him, and he was at another game, and of course, people were probably waiting around for both of us to, or anybody to wait their turn, to get on. So there would have been people standing around while Hubster was at his game, I was at my game. So I walk up to him, and his nickname is Buddy. That is his nickname. Everybody goes by Buddy. So I walk up to him. I go, "Hey, bud, you got a quarter?" Walk up to him loud, he's playing his game, whatever. And I go, "Hey, bud, you got a quarter?" And without beating an eye, without, just like that, he looks at me and goes, "I beg your pardon," and turns back and keeps playing his game. And everybody's looking at me. Oh, that poor woman. She doesn't have a quarter. And I just walked away because it was too funny. Of course, I'm grinning and laughing, but it was like, he acted like he didn't know me. And then another time at the theater, and again, it could have been the same time. He might have been on a roll. He might have been on a roll this day. And so I came out of the bathroom, and we're waiting in line, and he goes, "I got the tickets here, and I'm going to go do whatever. I'll stand over here. I'm going to stand over here." And I just come out of the bathroom, and he goes, "You go in line and get the popcorn, and I'll be over here." And I don't know. Don't know why I said, okay. But I know, Janet, right? And so, well, little did I know he was doing that on purpose. He was sending me over in line on purpose, because little did I know, every time I was taking a step in line, moving up the line, somebody had left napkins all over the floor. And I guess I got something sticky. I don't know. But when I'd come out of the bathroom, I was picking up with my foot, picking up napkins every step I took. And he was just standing over on the side, just watching me pick up napkins with every step I took. I was picking up. I'm surprised that I didn't feel this many napkins under my foot as I was walking. And so finally got the popcorn, got the soda, whatever it was, walked over across the room to him. And he goes, didn't you notice anything? I went, "What do you mean, did I notice anything?" He goes, "Look at your feet." And it was probably about that many, but that's a lot if you stack up napkins. He goes, you were picking up napkins. Everybody was watching you pick up napkins. Of course, he was just standing over there, waiting for me and laughing his head off. So, and not saying a word. So again, if you're the kind of person that gets embarrassed easy, you don't want to be married to someone like that. Or oh wait, this is the best, and then I'll stop. I guess I just got the chatty Cathy's today. I don't know about smoke. What about smoking? I actually had that car, Elaine. I actually had the Smoky in the Bandit Trans Am. Do you know that? I don't know what you're talking about. Why you're saying smoke into the Bandit, but I actually had that car. But anyway, so he doesn't do this to me anymore. I guess maybe he thinks, maybe he thinks I'm getting too old for this and he doesn't want to run me over, but he would do this all the time. Okay. So and we've always had trucks, Broncos, Blazers. We've always had trucks. You like the story, Sylvia? Okay. So here would be the truck. Here would be me walking up to get in the truck. Let's just say he's picking me up at the curb of the grocery store, whatever, or whatever. It could be any place. Trust me, it could be downtown Atlanta, and he would do this to me. So parking here, waiting for me to come up, get in the car. And of course, I'd have to go around to the other side, or whatever, because, if he was driving, get up to the car, open the door, and he'd go like that. And I'd go like this. And I'm almost chasing the car. Well, I am chasing the car, but he wouldn't go far. He'd just go like a car length. So and I am laughing so hard. I'm laughing so I got tears running down my face because to me it's hilarious. It's hilarious that he's doing it. And I'm laughing so hard. I am crying laughing. Of course, if anybody's looking, they're looking at me, this poor woman chasing this car, probably thinking I'm crying my eyes out because I'm laughing so hard. But anyway, that was Hubster hasn't done that. I don't if he's watching, don't get any ideas, Hubster. He used to do that to me all the time. All the time. But yeah. So we've always had fun. Okay, I got that's just there is a pencil. I was gonna say there's a bump under there. Is that the fold? Okay, so I'm kind of getting here with some of the darks, the darks in those feathers. See, can y'all see that I'm building up those feathers as I'm talking? Oh, toilet paper stuck inside of his pants, falling in the parking lot. Oh, I've actually we had this one, and I'll tell some of these stories. They're just coming to my head, and I've told a lot of them before. When I worked in a department store, this was again, this was before computers and all that. Not that computers don't have anything to do with this one, but this is when I was back in visual merchandising, which is like decorating department stores. The mannequins nowadays. I don't even know if they have mannequins. I don't even see mannequins anymore in stores. Of course, I don't really go to stores very much anyway, but especially clothing stores and all that. Because I work from right here. I don't need to dress up or anything and have a lot of clothes, work clothes. But we used to have mannequins. We used to have mannequins that we'd have to dress. I mean, you don't know how. I mean, 10 miles a day was nothing for us to walk in a store a day. 10 miles a day walking, decorating this department stores. Very physical. It's a young person's job because it's very physical. But anyway, there was this one lady, and she liked me, but she liked nobody else. She was, and of all places for her to work, she worked in the makeup department. Excuse me. She worked in the cosmetic department. She worked in the cosmetic department. And she was probably at the time, now again, this was probably 35 years ago. I'm not really counting it exactly, but maybe 35 years ago. And she worked in the cosmetic department, and she was probably in her late 60s, mid to late 60s. But she was always very put together, always wore the nicest clothes. Her makeup, her hair was immaculate. And one of those tall, thin, like she probably was a model in her younger days. She was very like elegant, but she could also be very brash. She could be very hard. but she looked very elegant. And that's why they put her, she worked in the cosmetic department. And nobody liked her because she was mean to everybody. But she liked me. She liked me. She didn't like anybody else, she liked me. And I would tease her and I would tease her back. And she would tease people and she could be mean. No, she could be really mean and nobody liked her. But I didn't let it by. I just didn't care. So see, that's the thing about being a person that doesn't care. They can be mean to you. It's like, oh well, I don't care. I'll go well. So I just didn't care. And so but I like to tease her every now and then just to make her feel like somebody cared, because nobody would interact with her really because she was so mean to people all the time. I think she was just, I don't know, she probably just had some things going on in her life that, we all have gone through and it was just affecting her. I don't know. I don't really remember. It was a long time ago. So one day, when she was sitting, we had the break room, the break room, and I think even back then you could smoke in the break room. And I think she was smoking. She was smoking a cigarette in the break room. I know it's hard to believe if you've never lived through that generation. All right, going back to the light color here and just kind of blending out some of this. And while she was sitting there, and she took her shoes off, and every now and then I would hide her shoes. I would hide her shoes. She always came up because, again, this was back, a while back. And if you work for a nice department store, you had to wear dresses and heels. Now we didn't have to. Those of us in the visual merchandising, because we were climbing ladders, hanging from the ceiling, hanging banners up in the rafters. Literally up in the rafters was where our workroom was. We're literally up in the rafters, and we didn't have to wear dresses and high heels. Although they did try to make us do that one day. That's another story. Maybe I'll tell that one too. But anyway, HR tried to make the girls in the visual merchandising wear dresses because somebody complained. It could have been the same woman that I'm talking about. Complained that, well, how come we have to wear dresses and heels and they don't? And so it went to HR, and HR was saying, we think that y'all are going to have to start wearing dresses and heels. And we all looked at each other like, are you crazy? So what I did is I went home on my lunch hour. This is a different story from the lady. What I did is I went home on the lunch hour, put on a business suit, high heels and hose. You wore hose and high heels, put on a high heel and hose, went back to work, and immediately found something that had to be done on the ceiling. Threw up my ladder, climbed the ladder, and started working up on the ladder in my high heels, hose, and dress. We got called to the HR department. They go, on second thought, we don't think y'all should be wearing dresses. I went, okay. Next day, came back in my regular clothes. Anyway, so this lady that worked in the cosmetic department, she took her shoes off and was sitting there. She might have been either drinking a soda or smoking a cigarette or something. Well, I went up behind, first I went to the bathroom and I got a roll. Wait, I'll show you what I did. Hang on. We're not going to waste toilet paper because, you never know. We're not going to waste toilet paper. I'm going to show you what I did. So I went to the bathroom. I got the roll of toilet paper. This is a new roll here. So what I did is I got the toilet paper and I did this. And I did it a lot. I can't tell you. I mean, I'm not going to do as much as I did. But I did that for probably about 5 minutes. I don't know how long, but it was probably a half a roll. Then I took a piece of Scotch tape. I did like a recon, it's like, I was stealth. And there's all people are all in the break room watching me do this. So like a recon like this on my elbows, under the table, around the table, through the table, went up behind her and put, well, here, this just fell over. This is a good example. Here's a shoe, and taped it to her shoe like that. I'm missing people coming and going, guys. Sorry, I got in the storytelling zone. So when she put on her shoe, slipped her foot in a shoe, and walked away, maybe it was I got this upside down. I think it was this way. So as she walked away, this was on a carpet, was unrolling. It was unrolling and unrolling and unrolling. So not only did she walk out of the break room, around a corner, down a hall, down another part of the store, all the way to the escalator. And I don't think she got on the escalator because I think it ran out by then. But I could hear her from the break room all the way down the hall, down another hall to the escalator. I heard her going, Dee Dee! That's why she loved me, though. See, that's why she liked me. Anyway, guys, those are some shoe stories. Shoe stories. And if there's anybody here that has not heard my what do you call it story? Shoulder pad. Has everybody here heard the shoulder pad story? It was hilarious. But, this was back, I guess, when people could do stuff like that. And, now you'd probably be sued or something. I don't know. No, it's just people can't have fun anymore. And it was just not, it didn't hurt anybody. It was a little embarrassing, but, we could take it back then. We could take a little bit of embarrassment and have some fun. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to this one with the pink. Let me sharpen. So anyway, I guess, some of that can kind of be fitting today in our streamage world. If you're afraid to start streaming because you might make a mistake or someone might call, you might get a troll or someone, and I still get it every now and then. I thought you were an art show. It's so chatty. You just talk so much. And I say I preference my show. Preface my show every now and then with, this is a chat show. We can get chatty. Don't email me. You haven't heard the shoulder pad story, Domestic Fox? Oh my gosh. Okay. No, this was back in the 80s. And y'all know back in the 80s, back when Dallas and what was that other one? Knots Landing? I don't remember. But those shows where the fancy rich girls would wear their suits and their big shoulder pads were the thing. It was a thing, And we wore more dresses and things like that back then. We wore business suits when we went to things. We wore dresses to church, and we just dressed up more. Now, we don't dress up for hardly anything. Well, of course I don't work out in the business world anymore, so I don't even know. Denise dresses up pretty nice and being in real estate, but I'm sitting here all day talking to you guys. Yes, they were power shoulder pads. Exactly. Let me put that up there. Exactly, Jane. Yes. So anyway, and I always like to draw a little visual for you guys. Let me do a little visual. This paper's not big enough. Oh, wait. No, this is not big enough. I got to have a little bit bigger piece of paper for this visual. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to do a visual for you. I know, Domestic Fox, but still, you can still, it's a lot of stuff we let bother us that we don't need to. But anyway, and I'm guilty of it too. You can hear me gripe about some of the same stuff everybody else does. So I'm not exempt from it. But anyway, so I went to a friend's wedding. And my dress was, let me put my little head there because the shoulder pads were really big. And it was not quite that big, but they were almost pointy, right? So here's my body here. And the dress was like down to my knees. Okay. That was a style when those Linda Evans type shoulder pad dresses, were in style. So you had your calves here and then I had heels on there. Okay. So anyway, not quite that exaggerated, but anyway, so I went to my friend's daughter's wedding, and her wedding, and she and her daughter, they were Catholic. I'm not Catholic, but they were Catholic, and so there was a lot of kneeling and standing and kneeling and standing. There was a lot of that going on during the wedding, right? So anyway, and the church had a lot of steps to get up into the church, right? There was a lot of steps. So when I got there and I was going up all these steps, I kept my calf kept itching. And I thought, did a bug bite me? What happened? Why is my calf itching? And this was a big A-line dress. So it was really full. I mean, it was kind of flowy, but it was a flowy dress. So everything was it was moving a lot, right? It was flowy. But my calf kept itching, and I swore, is that what you call, Julie said, we call that Catholic aerobics, Julie Topaz said. Yeah. And at a wedding, I guess there's even more formalities. So there was a lot more, stuff going on. So anyway, my calf kept itching. I thought I must have got bit by a bug or something. My calf keeps itching. So, go to the wedding, and it's up and down. And for the whole hour, maybe it was an hour and a half. It was a long service, right? This was like one of the formal ones. This wasn't one of those, go to the courthouse kind of weddings. So then after the wedding, I'm coming back down the steps, and it was still itching for an hour and a half, 2 hours. My calf kept itching. Well, finally, I reached down there, and I guess I finally grabbed the hem. I grabbed the hem, and I yanked at something, and it went whoosh, like Velcro does, because that, in fact, is what it was. It was my shoulder pad had fallen. I don't know when or how. I don't know that it can creep through the dress. No, because it had to be, because I went during the beginning of the wedding. When I went to the wedding, I was itching. So during the whole wedding, I was like this. I would have looked like this. I would have looked like Marty Feldman and Young Frankenstein with the hump. What hump? I would have looked like this, because one shoulder pad had fallen down and Velcroed itself to my hem. And then not only that, when I pulled it away, it made this huge whoosh, Velcro sound. And then I look around, and I've got this huge pad in my hand. I mean, I'm not kidding, guys. That Velcro pad wasn't much smaller than this roll of toilet paper. And I'm holding this pad in my hand, and everybody's looking at me like, what's she doing holding a pad in her hand? Because, no telling what it looked like, right? But it was huge. So then I looked over, I noticed my shoulders, and one shoulder had nothing. And one shoulder was like, it was like, a linebacker. I'm not kidding. It's like a linebacker. And so that's my shoulder story. Anyway, all right, let me go back on this, and I'll tell. Okay, I'll tell y'all another story. This one's not on me, but have y'all ever heard of Chandra Pierce? I'm sure she's still around, but I can't swear to it because this was a long time ago. And I was listening to her on the radio one day. I think, do I want the darkest? I think I want the darkest again. I was listening to Chandra Pierce on the radio, probably driving back and forth from work or something, because when I was close enough to work where I could in this situation where I could listen to the radio back and forth. And she was telling a story kind of similar to mine, what I just told you. And she's very Southern. So she has very I don't know if I can do it right now. I'm not really in the mood to do my Southern accent. Have you put your bra, Dee Dee? You should have put it in your bra. No, I didn't. But anyway, so Chandra, she kind of has a little girl voice, but she's very Southern. Now, I'm not probably going to do it as y'all have to just look up Chandra. Well, you know what? Here, let me wait. Where's my phone? Let me just so y'all can hear her voice, so you can imagine. I'm sure she's on YouTube. Let me look her up. Hang on. And she's hilarious. If you've never watched Chandra or listened to Chandra Pierce, and I haven't in years, but this story just came to me because of my story. So let's see. All right, here she goes. All right, let me just get you to her voice. Let's see if I can get to her voice. All right, let's get past the ads here. And I'm not going to play it. I just want you to kind of either see her or hear her for a second. Okay, wait a minute. Let me mute the ads. Hang on. 1 second.
The stage, Chandra Pierce.
All right, let me forward it now.
It's going to be about. Yes.
She's hilarious. You got to go watch her, guys.
I'm telling you something. When girls get together, we're going to talk about everything. And we're going to talk about everything tonight. And I'm telling you, I was over there looking for my birth certificate or the president's because I'm getting a little desperate.
Okay, so there's you. Just so y'all know what she sounds like. Well, she tells this story about when she goes to the grocery store and she was all dressed up. She had to go somewhere and she was all dressed up. I'm telling y'all, I want some laughs. Go find her later and watch some of her videos. And she said, and I was walking through the store and I was looking so hot. And I looked at myself in the glass of the ice cream containers. And I was looking, I went, oh, honey, you're looking hot today. And she goes, and then she kind of just started to do a little flip and a little twirl. And then she noticed that the back of her dress was tucked up on the inside of her pantyhose. And she'd been walking through the grocery store for who knows how long with her butt showing and her skirt tucked up inside her pantyhose. She's still on YouTube. Yeah. And so, but that actually, not quite to that extent, but that actually happened to me, not in a grocery store and not for that long. But I went to get gas in my car, got out of my car, got the gas, walked into the store, paid for the gas, walked back out, and then I guess I felt a breeze. I felt a little bit of a breeze back there. So I reached back there, and sure enough, my skirt was up inside my pantyhose. And I'd been out there getting gas, walking to the store, walking back, and nobody said anything. And I think to myself, because I will be the first person, hey, honey, you need to get your skirt out of your butt. Your skirt's all tucked up in your pantyhose, honey. You better, I'd be the first one to tell somebody. Nobody told me. Nobody told me that I had my skirt all tucked up in my pantyhose. But yeah, so me and Chandra are like this. Oh my gosh. Oh, thank you, Paco. Yeah. She's on, just look it up on YouTube. There you go. Look, Chandra Pierce. Yeah. If you're having a bad day, go listen to Chandra Pierce. You will be having a better day. That happened to you, Ann? Oh my gosh. Okay, so here we go. We've got quite a bit of the shading done here, as you can see, amongst all my chit chat. I need this to be a little bit darker. Pull out just a little bit. And I've been taking my time. See, when I'm talking and telling stories like this, guys, I am taking more time on the project like I would be doing if I was just by myself because I'm not over hurrying. I'm just talking to you guys. And so now I got to hurry. Now I got to hurry up. Now I got to hurry up and get some more done here. And I want to highlight my feathers just a little bit to show you. So did y'all get something out of this? I hope y'all got something out of this. All right, so now let me go with my white Posca here just to show you how you can, let's make it look like this whole row of feathers is bending. Okay, so instead of doing something like individual little highlights like this, where like in this feather here, where the individual little feather, what are these? What are the parts of a feather called? Does anybody know? The individual little feather fronds. I don't know. So like here, the individual little feather fronds, you can do that with lines. Well, this one, I want these to look soft and like they're bending over very softly. So what I'm going to do is I'll start here in the middle. I'm going to put them down like this, but I'm going to go sideways. I'm going to run my finger sideways. Now, it's not going to bother me if it gets on the black part because I'm going to have to go in and outline it better anyway. But if you go this way with it, well, let me just do the whole thing. You can have a whole mess of bending. You can have a whole mess of that. So you can have the whole area looking like it's highlighted. Like that. So that happened to you when you're teaching. Let me do a test. I haven't seen my chat move for a while. Did everybody leave me? Okay, and then I can kind of go in here and make some of them a little bit wider. Did everybody watch the Space Force Dragon Land yesterday? I watched it on C-SPAN, and they had the coolest, I guess maybe it's the same people that did all the narration that everybody heard. But anyway, the two young people, the guy and the girl that did the narration for the splashdown and talking about it the whole time that they were waiting to get out of the capsule. It was also interesting, and they did a good job. I even tweeted out to them, well, not personally, but to NASA. I tweeted to NASA how they the narrators did such a good job, and they just kept it moving and seemed real natural. It wasn't forced, and they just did a really good job on the narration of the splashdown and the time it took for them to get out of the capsule. It was really interesting. All right, so let me dry this real quick, and then I'm going to go back in. And with the lighter color, so it's not just white, you can soften the edges. Okay, so I'm going to soften these edges real quick. I'm not real zoomed in, but I'm going to zoom out so you can see the whole poster again in just a minute. I hope y'all enjoyed today, just having some laughs. Hope you had a good weekend. Hope you will remember funny stories of things that happened to you when you were younger or you were a kid. Remember those funny stories, either write them down or, even better, tell them to somebody. Tell one of your funny stories to somebody. Oh, it's buffering? Are we buffering, guys? Is it just you? I hope we're not buffering. But find a funny story from your past and tell it to somebody. And make somebody laugh. Everybody's got a funny story. Don't say you don't. Or something embarrassing that happened to you. Tell that story. Tell it out loud. Tell it loud and large. Okay, let's see. Now I want to kind of get in here and just kind of separate the feathers just a little. So now I've got a nice even highlight that goes over the whole thing evenly. but they're still individual feathers. See how that worked out? Janet, I'm going to ask Janet to do that today. I'm going to ask Janet, Janet, tell a funny story today. Tell a funny story on your show today. All right, I'm going to back out, guys, so that we can see how big. I'm going to open the whole poster up again. All right, move the pencils here. Open, show you the whole poster once again. Hang on. All right, so here's the whole poster. This is where I've been working, right here. Been working on that part. But as you can see, look at all these flowers. Look at all this I still have to do. So it's a huge poster. Again, it is 25 by 34. Look, I'll put my hand out here so you can see how big it is. Okay, it's a huge poster. Here's their little faces. And I'll show you. And I base coated it with Copics. And then shading with color pencil. And it all folds up into this. So this is Let's Color Love, Nicholas. And there's his real name. But he goes by Nick Filbert. So if you look him up online, just look for, this is what he goes by on Instagram. And he's also the one that did Serene, which I showed y'all this one a little while ago at the beginning of the show. He did Serene, and I've colored quite a few. I've colored quite a few in this one. These are, of course, much smaller. But that's who you look for. And again, I don't know if 70 East books on Etsy has them. But yeah. Julie says, I wore my dress backwards to my grandma's funeral and didn't realize it until I took it off. Oh, well, probably no one noticed, Julie, at a funeral. But that's what I hope, that nobody noticed my one big humped shoulder during a wedding. I guess maybe if you're sitting behind me and you saw me from behind, I probably look like Marty Feldman. But when you tell the stories, tell them to somebody, make them laugh, especially a young person. Find a teenager, everybody's wrapped up in themselves and all worried about, tell them a funny story that happened to you when you were young or younger. And if you're young, then I'm sure you have embarrassing stories you could tell to the older people. When I was a teenager, I loved hanging out with old people. I still love old people, but when I was young, I loved old people. I loved my grandma and my grandpa and hanging out with old people because I thought they knew everything. Old people know everything. It didn't matter if they were old, I thought they knew everything. So I'd love to talk books and talk to people because I love to read. I love to talk to old people. Now that I'm an old people, now I like hanging out with the young people. Now I like hanging out with teenagers and young people, 20s. I like seeing what they're doing. I love the internet stuff. I love, so I don't know. Guess what goes around comes around. Now I'm one of those people that likes to hang out with young people. So anyway, guys, so just go out and be nice to people, have fun, joke around, don't take things too seriously. Don't, let people be them. Don't try to, say, well, you can't be this, you can't think like that. You have to think like I think. Don't do that, because then it comes around to you and then you can't have the freedom to think what you want. But all right, guys. So go out there, stay healthy, stay happy, stay free, and we'll see you over at Janet's. Bye, guys.